رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على أشرف المخلوقين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep all of you safe, healthy, protect you and your family, give you the ability to be qualified for the maghfirah and rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this beautiful month. All of us, we know that we are in the last 10 beautiful nights. And something very interesting that I would like to start with, that of us, we learned that the scholars and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us about Laylatul Qadr, iltamisuha fil ashr al-awakhir, that try to seek the Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights. And all the scholars, they have this discussion. And you find the hadith. But for whatever reason, most of us insist it's the 27th. If you ask any scholar, where is the night? You say the last 10 nights. If you look at the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, iltamisuha, try to find it in the last 10 nights. But we made it differently and say, no, it's only the 27th. And we come to the masjid as that's Laylatul Qadr. Are we being misled somewhere or somehow? So try not to lose the chance to get the forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the last 10 nights, not only on the 27th. May Allah forgive all of us. The second one, it's a small advice, not from me. But a man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, قال أوصيني, give me an advice. And imagine yourself now, if you are at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and you get the chance to sit with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and ask him an advice. Imagine that. You have the chance to sit with him and ask him for advice. And then he's giving you this advice. How serious you're going to take it. How important that is going to be. How valuable is his advice for you. Imagine if even your father, sometimes your mom, before they passed away, say, son, I want you to do this. Do not give up on this. Try your best to keep this. Say, oh, this is from my father. I'm not going to give up on that. Now, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as-sadiq al-masduq, alladhi la yantiqu anil hawa, the one who doesn't speak from his desires, he was talking to that man. In some of the versions said, maybe it's Abu Darda. But regardless the person. قال أوصيني قال لا تغضب. So when he asked him, give me the advice, he said, لا تغضب. Don't get angry or don't be angry. So this is the advice from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to every single person, man or woman. If you want to take the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It looks like the man was not satisfied enough. Okay, you ask me not to get angry. Where else? قال أوصيني. Again, give me another one. قال لا تغضب. For the second time, he told him again, don't be angry. It looks like something very serious. If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, al-muballighu anillah, the one who speaks on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's insisting and he said for the second advice again, لا تغضب. Don't be angry. Looks like the man, it was like us probably also, he insisted and asking for the third time, أوصني قال لا تغضب. 3 times Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was giving the advice to that person, don't be angry, don't get angry. الغضب لا يأتي من ورائه خير. Subhanallah, there is no way that you will get something good out of being angry from the ghadab. No way. You could make it the way you want, you could justify it the way you want, but there is no way that you will get something good out of your anger. And look at yourself when you get angry. There are 3 things now, qawl and fi'l, saying words that comes from your mouth. Usually when you get angry, what do? You go to the extreme, sometimes you curse, you lie, you scream, you loud, you yell. You may even go to something crazy. If you look at your face in the mirror, You will see your eyes red, your face, whatever, your ears. You may not even recognize yourself. Even a person who's very respectful, when you see him in that situation, you don't feel like that's the person that you wanna that I know. Sometimes, and most of us make this statement to justify our actions or our saying when we get angry. And then someone say, you know what? I am a nice person. I am the nicest person. But if I get angry, you're going to see a different face. You're going to see the real face. Subhanallah. So that's your real face then. So the first one was not. That was a fabricated one. That was faked one. Right? You were just acting that way in front of the people. But your real face is this one. And you're saying that about yourself. Is that the truth? Subhanallah. Just look at this. You're saying, that's not my face. This is my real face. Thinking that you are saying something good, that you are praising yourself. You're so proud of yourself that you are that person that people are supposed to be scared of when you get angry. So we're seeing now, number one, the word that may come from your mouth. And you're going to regret all the time, whatever we say in time of anger, you're going to regret, subhanAllah. Second one is the action. Sometimes when a person gets angry, he will do something bad. He may hurt someone. It could be his son, his daughter, his spouse, her husband, a friend, an action. He may even kill someone. And we have in the history how many people killed someone else just because they get angry. Sometimes a very little small thing. The choice of a color or a furniture or whatever you call it. Many people divorce their spouses because they get angry. And sometimes what happened, they go to the sheikh or to the mufti, say, you know what, I was angry and I divorced my wife. Or I was very angry. It's like they are giving to yourself an excuse that if I say that I was angry, do you think anybody divorced his wife because he was happy? He was home and then, mashallah, the sister prepared everything for him, the food, the drinks, and they were talking and joking. I say, alhamdulillah, what should I do? I'm going to divorce my wife. How does it sound? Silly, right? So the anger, right? The anger. So the anger may lead you to destroy your family. The complete family will be gone, subhanAllah. Just why? Because you insisted in what? Look at the anger again. When you get angry, how do you feel? Hot, right? You feel very hot. So where's this temper is coming from, subhanAllah? Although it may be cold, but your face looks so... That's something from the shaitan, by the way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ كَالْفَخَّارِ وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَ مِنْ مَارِجٍ مِنْ نَارٍ. He created the human from the salsal, from the clay, but he created the shaitan from fire. You feel like you're boiling yourself and you don't know what to do. That's the anger. That is coming from the shaitan. He's always telling you, do this, give him this. Something also very important, you lose the respect, but you lose sometimes a lot of friendship with the people. And now that we are in the last 10 nights, one of the greatest ibadat that you could do is what? Come down, and you're going to see that all the time. In the parking lot, you're going to have some issues and you're going to get angry. You're driving, you're going to get angry. You go home, probably you're not happy with the food, you get angry. In your job, you're going to get angry. So the anger is everywhere. You are being tested right now. We're going to see the real person of you. We're going to see the real person, right? One of the qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is what? He was halim, not the food, my brothers. He was a forbearing person, extra patient all the time. And the things that happened to him, which is he was tested with, subhanAllah, it shows how patient was that person. The real face of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sometimes an Arabi, a Bedouin, came to him and he said to him in a such a way, أعطيني من مال الله ليس من مال أبيك أو أمك. Give me from the money of Allah. This is not the money of your father or your mom. And he's talking to who? To Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, the Sahaba were not happy there, and some of them wants to take an action. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that remind me the ayah that my brother recited in such a beautiful way. رحم الله أخي موسى فلقد أوذي بأكثر من هذا فصبر. He said, may Allah have mercy on my brother Musa alayhi salam, the prophet, the messenger. لقد أوذي بأكثر من هذا فصبر. He was being hurt with worse than this, but he was patient, subhanallah. So remember that the sabr is always the key. The key for what? For success. Everything in our life depends on that. A woman has to be patient for 9 months when she's carrying the baby in her womb. What kind of sabr is that, subhanallah? A man or a woman, the children, how they grew up. It's only with the sabr. Most of the time, we think if we act differently, we act with anger, we're going to scare the other person, we're going to show him this is the real person. No, my brothers or my sisters, it doesn't work in that way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also told us about this. And He said, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praise the people, say, Al-Kadhimin al-Ghayb. They have ghayb, they have anger, but what they do? They control that. What's the difference between us and other creatures? Let's say animals. An animal, when you get angry, what animal will do? He doesn't have something called sabr. No, it's not a part of his thinking. They act according to what? To their emotions. But that's not the human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives you this, the sabr. Two things very important. I will close with that again, inshallah, very quick. One of the reasons of the sabr, if you have the tawheed in your heart. You may say, what tawheed has to do with this? What tawheed has to do with sabr or with anger? The tawheed tells you something, that anything that's happening in this world, it's with what? With the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can anyone deny that? That something is happening to me, to him, good, bad, it's always with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permission. So once you have that in your mind, yes, it happened. I know it's happened, but in the end of the day, that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to happen. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the hadith narrated by Anas. Anas was a young man, he served Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, خدمت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم 10 سنين. I served Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam 10 years. فما قال لي لشيء لم أفعله لما فعلته أو لشيء فعلته لما فعلته. He said, I served Rasulullah for 10 years, but he never told me for something that I didn't do, why you didn't do it, or for something that I did, why did you do it? It is the tawheed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who is giving taysir to this person to do this one or not the other one. We always have to remember that. Remembering that everything in the end of the day, it is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah, in his book, Ayyuha al-Walad, said one thing, and I will close with that inshallah, and I would like all my brothers and my sisters to put that in front of your eyes, especially in the last 10 nights. He said, علامة إعراض الله عن العبد اشتغاله بما لا يعنيه. The sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rejecting someone. He doesn't like that person. علامة, the sign. إعراض الله عن العبد. Allah يعرض عن هذا العبد. He's rejecting him. He doesn't like him. What's that sign? That all of us we should avoid. اشتغاله بما لا يعنيه. When you busy yourself with something that does not concern you. Most of the time, we get very much concerned, busy with something which is, it's not our business. We get involved, lying, backbiting, spreading rumors. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me and forgive all of us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this beautiful night to make us among the people that they will be عتقاء من النار. واستغفر الله لكم جميع المؤمنين جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.